Is it sad that I'm looking and I don't recognize anything? There's a weapon. And instructions. Oh hell, what did I get myself into? Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Today I'm looking at the Bandai SprüKit's Halo Master Chief. Bandai sent this along, asked us to review it. I volunteered. Let's see what that looks like. It says it doesn't give you actual numbers for the time needed and the detail articulation. Articulation's up pretty high. 5-inch figure. Yeah, we'll see. It doesn't look that complicated. Oh, 109 pieces. No cutting, no painting, no glue. 109 pieces. Let's see what we got. Okay, everything's on sprues, which makes sense, it being a SprüKit. Okay, I've opened up the package, and here we go with the instructions. Okay, it says, please do not separate the parts from the sprue until ready to assemble. But right out of the bag, some parts were already off the sprue. But the good thing about it, it looks like it comes out of well, apparently since it came out in the bag, it's not going to leave little like flakes or, you know, part of the sprue on the piece. To be honest, I've never put together a Gundam or anything model-like. I think I put together a Slave 1 when I was 20. That was 20 years ago. I mean 10. Yeah, that was 20 years ago. Right off the bat, I was like, what in this right here, the 1A, isn't referring to the A SprüKit piece 1. That's just the order of steps to build the torso here. It's step 1A, 1B. Yeah, okay, it took me a minute. Give me a break. Or the pieces are breaking out of the sprues pretty easy. Okay, I'm up to 1B. Flying through the progress. There's another sprue. It's more of a rubbery. And I stumbled just a bit when it said PC2. I went looking, and this is PCA-01. So I just assumed it's PC. These are all piece 2. These are all piece 3. Or no, take that back. Piece 3, piece 4. These are all piece 1. So, and like I said, they're more of a rubbery type plastic. So I've got the piece together. It looks like that's going to slide down in a ball joint. I still have no idea what this piece is. Oh, it's the neck. I'm a genius. I don't know if I have the patience for this. I probably made that more complicated than it actually was, but you have to have everything lined up exactly. But once you do, it snaps together really well. It doesn't look like there's going to be any ab crunch. Okay, I ran into a tiny bit of trouble on 1A. That's, yeah. This pin right here, you can tell, well, there's 2 of them. If I can get it apart, there was 2 that go together. D4s. But one of them had a piece of, like, plastic still in the hole right here. But it was the size of this tiny hole right here, so I thought it went, you know, this way. But there's an offset to the pin. I had to trim out some of the excess plastic in order to get it to go on there like that and make the pegs, you know, continuous across. When I first put it on, it stared up, so it was offset. I don't even know what piece this is yet. I guess I'll find out here in a second. Oh wait, no, it goes to the crotch. Everything should line up now and piece together better. Yep. when I first tried to put it together, this was still gapped. So I'm guessing, well, I guess that's the butt. The nice thing about it, the pictures, yeah, it's kind of like putting a Lego kit together, if you know what I mean. You know, it's pictures, and it's kind of hard to tell sometimes which way it goes, or does it go here or here. So far, I'm just at the, torso and crotch, but they make it to where, like, this has a peg that pegs here, and this peg pegs here. So it's hard to get it upside down, which this part is fairly obvious. The crotch piece, the cod piece, whatever. There's always that fear. I'm afraid I'm going to get most of the way done and realize something on the very center of the figure wasn't put together right. And so far everything stayed together fairly well, considering it says, no glue. I want to wait until I get the whole figure together before I make that judgment call. The cool thing about this, you put all the articulation together. The ball joint right here, I put both halves together with the piece in the center and all that. I'll try to show that here in a minute on the other leg if I have the patience. I just noticed the pieces themselves are marked on the inside with the numbers. So even if they fall out of the sprue right off the bat, I don't know if you can even see it. So even if they fall out, the numbers are on the inside, so that's kind of cool. And it's a leg all put together. I feel like I should be careful with it not being glued together, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to be wanting to fall apart. I mean, you can take it apart still. Like, the back of the foot still comes off. And it says no glue, but I'd probably feel better in the long run if I were to glue everything together. It has a little rocker action. It's pretty much a ball on bottom. But we'll get into all that once I get the figure together. If I ever get the figure together. Okay, putting the other leg together. We have this. We have this T-shaped piece. And then we have the other cap for the ball here. And you have a ball joint. Well, that's not really a ball joint. It's a hinge and swivel, but hinge swivel. But it's kind of nifty that it goes together, and it pops together fairly well. I think it's popped onto the T-shaped piece in the middle. That's what it's going to hold this together. I've noticed most of the joints are tight so far, so there we go. It'll probably be easier to move once I get it into the where it needs to be. Okay, for the knee joint, it was kind of hard for me to tell at first which way to go, but there's an arrow that points up, and it's pointed out right on the instructions which way it needs to go, so that's pretty nifty. I'm a bit of a slow learner. You have to get it lined up pretty good before it'll slide into the other piece. If it'll slide in at all. There we go. It's just like it fits right into the box shape. I had a problem at first, it was kind of intimidating. Once you get going, it's fairly simple. Okay, working on the helmet. There's a tiny piece. I'm not even gonna pull it out again. But there's a tiny piece with T-shaped peg on it. It pegs into here, right on the front. If you're looking at the T, it goes in, and then you just snap it together. It's not even a snap. It's kind of it's just snugs right together. And then the only orange piece. I think I can guess where this piece goes. Helmet. And A2 is the ridge of the helmet. Let me guess, I got it backwards right off the bat. Okay, we have arm. I was looking at the SprüKits or the sprues, and I didn't even realize there was extra hands. There's fist, trigger finger. I have no clue what that is, but that looks daunting. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what that is here in a minute. And an open hand. The hands interchange pretty easy. It just pins into a hole. It has a ball, but it doesn't get as much ball movement as you would think it would. So it's mostly swivel and a little rotation. Okay, each hand has a little green piece on the back. It's, you know, the charcoal gray blackish hand, and then the green back of the hand guard, and each of these are a separate piece, and they're small, so if you have huge hands, you're gonna be cussing. But the good thing about it, at first I thought there was only 2 green pieces and then several hands and you'd have to switch it out. No, it comes with several of these. 1, 2, 3. Come on, baby. There we go. And that was essentially, you know, a bar, and then it clamped down over it. Take the shoulder. It goes in there. Am I making 2 rights? Oh, hell yeah, I am. Good enough. It interchangeable. Haha, it just rotates around. Shoulder pad. And then hand. Left arm done. I don't know. In the instructions, it goes straight to base, like the figure's put together, but you're not done putting the figure together. So let's see what's up with that. Okay. There's no... I guess it just assumes you're just going to put it together, given the, you know, parts, which I know where a head goes, and everything just essentially pops together, I guess. Slide that on there. Slide that on there. Let's pop the arms on before getting too crazy with it. Forward butterfly action. I figured that would do that, but that looks better than I thought it would. Even the weapons peg together. There's rifle and yes. Pistol. Okay, this is kind of nifty. The finger pieces that I was looking at, it kind of forms together around the gun. So you have this. It pins. Yeah. So there's no open fist or open hand for the gun. The hand forms around it, or well, snaps around it, and I guess to take it back out you have to take it apart. Hand looks kind of big though when it's like that. Here's another thing. I wasn't worried about any of the pieces once I popped them out, but there was some plastic missing out of the sprue kit right there, so there's a loose right here. Looks like, yeah. And then the gun, oh, it just goes through the trigger. Looks like, yeah. So, back mounted, not bad. And then the base, snaps right on to the foot. Okay, as for the figure itself, it's not bad. It's a little small, you know, from what I'm used to. The base just clicks around the foot. It stays pretty good. It feels light, but that's because it's hollow, you know what I mean? Just thin plastic. It doesn't feel fragile, I guess I should say. When I was putting it together, yeah, it feels fragile. Not so much once it's all together. You take the gun, you put it in here, you peg the other side on, and it forms a closed hand. It's a little awkward. I mean, it's just because it's, you know, small. So, there you go. Can get pretty good poses. You have butterfly action in the shoulders. The head has all kinds of tilt. Not a lot of up and down without pulling it apart. The neck is hidden. It feels like the head is sitting too low. You know what I mean? And the only other thing I don't like really is the space in the hips. It just looks robotic, I guess. But elbows go about 90. Knees are double. Ankle has tilt. Forward and back. The waist is just, oh well. The waist is ball. And I should know that because I put the damn thing together, but some side to side. Hips go out about that far. It's kind of a odd joint. I don't know why it would move down like that. There we go. How about we do it like this? That makes it look a little cleaner. Hips like they're attached better, you know what I mean? All in all, it's not bad. These run you about $20. About the same price as the McFarlane Halo figures, I guess. Or they may be cheaper. I don't do Halo and I don't do 5-inch. So, I kind of like this, though. Have the peg on the back. Hold the gun. The fists, or the hands, are easy to change out. And really, you could pull it all the way back apart if you really wanted to. He stands fairly easy just because, I mean, he's light, but the joints are all tight. And now that I'm playing around with him, he doesn't feel really fragile. And even if it did come apart, you just stick it right back together. So, no biggie. It was pretty fun to build. Like I said at the first, I haven't built a model in 20 years, so, I mean, rusty, yeah. But I still have Batman to put together too, so we'll see how he goes, if he doesn't drive me nuts. The only thing that gets me is how small everything is. I'm just not used to that. And I still haven't figured out how to put the gun in the holster. Because it's pegged rectangle, so it has to go back like that. But it doesn't go tight anywhere. So, I don't know. You want it to go like this, but it doesn't. And somebody comment if I'm doing it all kinds of wrong, which I probably am. I was looking around a minute ago, and apparently there's an 8-inch version that looks a lot cleaner, but it comes, I think it's like 150 pieces. Of course, it'll run you about $70, $80, so if you want to go that far for an 8-inch Halo figure. Sorry, it's just a long ramble as I figure things out, but if you like the video, comment, like, subscribe, share, show all your friends that there's a Halo kit out there that you have to put together yourself, and I'll see you on the Fwoosh.